So I'll go to my define number range again. I'll say I have my company code. Tell me. I'll click on this. It's still telling me company code JY0 does not exist. I'll double click on the X to see the issue. So I'm seeing it. It's still telling me company code does not exist. Why? Why is it telling me company code does not exist? I'll show you something first. You'll be wondering, why is this thing telling me company code does not exist? There's a reason for that. Let me now, sorry, I've gone out totally. I'll go to financial accounting. I'll go to organization structure, asset accounting first, then organization structure, then I'll go to asset class. But before asset class, I will need to show you something. You see this thing called specified number assignment across company code. Specified number assignment across company code. Click on it. You need to see whether your company code is here. So I'll find my company code, which is JY01. I'm not seeing my company code. Why? I'm not seeing my company code. Why? The reason is because in asset accounting, there are prerequisites, there are things you need to do first before you can create an asset account. So you must have defined an accounting depreciation. You must have done what do you call it? Asset depreciation rather. You must have done asset depreciation area rather. You must have done depreciation area. You must have defined a depreciation area and also map your depreciation area to what? To your company code. That's what you must have done. And if you don't do that, you won't be able to go forward. So when do you define your depreciation? So you can see we have depreciation here. Check country settings, copy reference, and you come to asset accounting. You come to asset accounting, then you come to organization structure, then you see copy reference, the chart of depreciation. So chart of depreciation must be defined in the system first and assign chart of depreciation to company code before you can see your company code being seeable, right? So we need to do this first. So I will go back. So let me update our sheet. Let me update our sheet. It is so we need to define. Okay. Okay. So we need to define. We need to set up a chart of depreciation. That's what we need to do first. And the second thing we need to do is what? We need to assign the chart of depreciation to this. Now let's copy, create chart, let's define the chart of depreciation. We click on this first one, copy reference chart of depreciation. You know, SAP has some already predefined setup in the system. We do not necessarily need to start creating new one by ourselves. So it's always better to just copy. Sometimes you copy, sometimes you create new, right? So this one I'll just copy. I'll click on this, copy organization objects. Then it will tell me from chart of depreciation, from which chart of depreciation do you want to copy from. Let me go into the system and see what type of chart of depreciation I want to copy from. So I'll go inside, I'll look for one. I could always look for let me just hold on, let me look for one that we can use. Let me look for one that we can use. Looking for one. So. Okay, I could use this one. And then I'll say copy to JY01. I'll click enter. Then I'll click enter. So it's asking me, do you really want to transport number range? I'll say no. Because why I do not want to transport the number range? Because I want you to see how the number range works. So I'll say no, I do not need your number range. I want to create my own number range myself. So I'll click on save. Right? I'll save it. So I've saved this. But you see, I copied from one chart of depreciation to my own. So what I will need to do is to go and edit the chart of depreciation so that we don't have confusion. So you specify the depreciation of chart of depreciation. So I'll click on this and I'll click on position to look for my chart of depreciation, which is JY01. Then I'll change it. You can see it's still John that is there. So I can just change it to be what? To be Joy. I'll enter and I'll click on save. I'm using Ctrl S. I'll use Ctrl S to save. Or I save from this place. I'm saving it now. Clicking it. So I've saved it. The next thing I will do is to go and copy or delete depreciation, because when you copy a depreciation area, there's a high possibility that it will come with other depreciation area like what do you call it, like tax depreciation, like cost object depreciation. There are different type of depreciation that people or businesses will be using. So I'll just go there and see if there are other depreciation that have been copied alongside my depreciation area. If they are not, then I will leave it. So thank God we only have one depreciation area that has been copied. Now we only have one depreciation. Let me go inside again and show you something. So I need to change this thing. Like I think it's joy. I'll change it to joy. I've done that before. Maybe I just save it. So now you see, there are some things that I will briefly explain here on this screen. You see this thing called redepreciation area. You have to let me go back again so you see what I'm talking about. Redepreciation area. So you have to check this redepreciation area as well as accounting principle. You have to also accounting principle a set of rules that guides the business. Let me just put it that way so that you will not be confused about what it is. And we have different type of account principle. We have IFRS and we have GAAP. IFRS is simply International Financial Reporting Standard, and GAAP is General Acceptable Accounting, what have you, principle. So that these are the common known accounting principle. So you must have defined this accounting principle before you can use it. So this IFRS already has been created, and that's why the previous chart of illustration we copied from can use it. We'll use IFRS too because in Nigeria, IFRS is mostly used in Nigeria. In fact, it is the used reporting, what's called International Financial Reporting Standard that we are using. So we are not using GAAP again. There's story around that, history around it. So we are using IFRS. So there's something called leading ledger. That is the target ledger. This must have been defined in the system before we can use it. Like I said, the moment there's a place where you create an accounting principle and map it to the target ledger, which is the leading ledger. The moment you map it, the moment you select IFRS, you see. I'll put gap here now, and you see what that's okay. Normally, it will change. Let me see if there are other. Let me see if there are other accounting principles. So you see that the target ledger could change. Okay. Now let me use this one. You can see the target ledger change from 0L to B2 simply because that is what was mapped to 3Y, the accounting principle 3Y. But we are not using 3Y, we are using IFRS. And you see it will change to L to 0L because it has been mapped. I will quickly show you that too in the system. Now, this part here now, area post in real time. The depreciation area must post in real time. And what does this mean? This environment is where the integration between asset accounting and general ledger happens. Because whatever you're doing at asset accounting flows to the general ledger. And that's what this thing means. Area post in real time. In some other video, I could be making some slide and giving deep understanding or what they call around this thing. Area post depreciation only, area post EPC. These are by definition, by the wordings, you understand what this thing means. Area post depreciation only is saying that you should post depreciation only. Area post in real time meaning that you should post in real time. Area does not post, meaning that you should not post in real time, but it should be a subject of a particular depreciation. That's what that means. So there are other things that are maintained here. Acquisition value. Acquisition value, only positive value or zero allowed. What you're saying is that you do not want a negative value to be posted to an asset. You want an acquisition value to be positive. You don't want a negative value to go to an asset. That's what this thing means, right? And likewise, the other ones. So these are some of the defaults. What have you? So you can just go ahead and save this one. I'll save it by Ctrl S or clicking on this. Then I'll click on this, and we are fine. So we are fine. But mind you, there could be some other things. Let me tell you, in S4HANA, there are three things that we need to take in consideration. One, you could have two accounting principles. Some businesses have two accounting principles. Possibly, maybe they have a business in US and they want to have US GAAP. So they will create two accounting principles. They will create one and they have one in Nigeria. They will create IFRS for Nigeria. They will create US GAAP there. So when you create two accounting principles, you must also show it here. You must create two depreciation area for. So the rule is that create depreciation area for the for the accounting principle you have created in the system. Accounting principle is created under financial accounting global settings. That's where accounting principle is created. So you must have created the moment you create two accounting principle, then you must also do what? Create two depreciation area. The other thing that you must also factor when you are setting up asset accounting is that when you create a parallel currency, meaning that you have NGN as a currency, you have US, you have INR, or you have pound sterling as well as one of your, or what have you. You need to create a depreciation area for that one too. But that one will not be posting in real time, but will be posting in function of what, of the depreciation area that you have created. So for example, now you say you create one here. If you have, we are using one currency, and that's why we do not need to create double currency here. But if you are using two currency, then you need to create another depreciation area for that currency, parallel currency. They call it parallel currency. So you create one, and you now say, instead of real time, you say post in what, this one is in real time. So you now post, area does not post in real time. And there's now a place in this asset accounting. I don't want to deviate much on this topic. There's a place, I'll just say it theoretically, there's a place where you now need to map that area to post immediately, and area does not post, you map it. And there's also a place where you indicate that currency that you have created a depreciation area for, what currency should it be? There's a place you will need to map those ones. Maybe in another video, I'll create a two currency system. And I'll show all these legs, and I'll also show all these things that I've said earlier. So we'll close this one. We have created an asset, a chart of depreciation. This is the first thing that needs to be done actually in the system. When you are creating an asset account, the first thing that needs to be done is create a chart of depreciation. But because of what we need to show you from the front end to the back end, and that's why we move towards the route of asset class and whatever. So now I'll go. We have created an asset class, right? We have created an asset class. So we need to what, assign, and we have also created a company code. The next thing we need to do is assign chart of position to a company code. So it's also locked. I'll go back here. I'll close this. So I'll go outside here. So what do I? Okay, then now let me try it again now. Possibly. Okay, sorry. So I'll close this. Then I'll go to assign chart of position, which is the next thing that I need to do. If you have looked at our previous video, you notice that for everything we do, we are assigning to the company code. Everything we do, we are assigning to the company, and I've explained why company code, why are we assigning it. So we'll just click on position to look for our chart of position, or company code rather, which is JY01. Then we'll come to chart of position. Our chart of position is what, JY012. Then we'll save it. So look at, it's